Hey guys, welcome back to Sarcasm with Dopamine. McKay screamed something random at the
Okay, so thanks to DigitalKupcake, we got the suggestion to do a segment on alternate realities.
Thank you, Cupcake.
Love you, DigitalKupcake. Which, by the way, is that just a picture of a cupcake, or is it like a holographic cupcake?
I think it's ASCII art.
It's an ASCII cupcake.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Cool.
Digital Cupcake. We like your username. That's the point.
That is a cool username. Just saying.
And if you want to see your segment featured, make sure to post below.
Oh, yeah, that.
Alright,
I do it all the time.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I actually have a life.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
So this kind of has roots in the butterfly effect. So that's basically, I think it's coined by Edward Lorenz.
Tell us, Shayna, what is the butterfly effect?
So the butterfly effect comes from the analogy that a butterfly wings beating in Tokyo could cause a hurricane in Los Angeles.
Thank you, McKay.
Because basically one small thing could change everything. So in all of these different worlds, one small thing has changed each reality. Now, we want to be clear that this is all happening in the same laws of physics and things as our world. So there's not a world where gravity doesn't apply.
Because then we get obnoxious and six-dimensional, and let's not do that.
No.
6 dimensions. I've been there once. That was
Please don't
out
make
of
it
this
up to me.
world.
Oh, dang it.
So, but anyways, like, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's possible?
I'm a believer in this personally, so I'm a big fan of all the science fiction-y or the not so fiction-y part of the science stuff, because it's all stuff that we really can't like put our fingers on and say, yes, this is a thing. But it's very, very plausible, and it's fun to think about. Because we make decisions every single day. Like, we made decisions on if we were going to do this segment or not. I make decisions every day about not making bad jokes. I make stupid jokes all the time, so...
There are lots of decisions involved. Do you want me to rant? Because if I start ranting, it'll be a rant.
But I guess, you know, in an infinite universe
No,
where...
not about you. No, I love you, McKay. No, about dimensions.
Oh, okay.
Bring it back.
I was hurt.
So in an infinite galaxies, like just galaxies upon galaxies, universes, multiverses, you know, everything is theoretically possible. Like everything.
I found the following things.
Your phone sounds depressed. I found the following thing.
Shayna's the kind of person who sets her phone to be depressed so that she can be reminded who is master and who is slave.
There was an alternate reality where my phone did not go off in the skit, and we made some remarkable discovery.
That is
not the skit.
There is an alternate reality where your phone is not depressed.
There's an alternate reality where phones have not been invented.
That is true.
Many.
Instead, we just communicate telepathically.
The fourth dimension is time. So it's an infinite number of three-dimensional things stacked atop each other. This is where the word
How do we know
atop
the
starts
fourth
making
dimension is
sense.
time? I would say there would be an infinite number of that. Like you'd be able to.
That's a fair point. I've also considered, what if we perceive time as something that's not really there? Like, our lives are actually everything happening all at once, and it's literally just our consciousness putting things in an order that makes sense. That would explain why sometimes you get deja vu and you're like, why have I felt this before? Well, because when you got it all at once, you already know what was going to happen, and your consciousness is trying to sort it out, but you still get a little bit of feeling of what is going to happen.
And I would consider time to be a property almost like gravity. It's just always there. It's always, you know, happening, but you don't really pay attention to it, you know? It's not something that can be controlled or be added upon or minused upon. It's just infinite.
You make something's mass bigger, its gravity becomes greater. You can't really change time. It's inexorable.
Time cannot be manipulated.
Makes things.
I was talking about
written.
Earth's gravity. You know, we can't do anything to change Earth's gravity.
Sure, you can.
You just
Crash something into it.
You just blow up the Earth.
Yeah. So the fourth dimension is anything that could ever happen. Like, it's one continuous stream of time. straight, one stream of time. And so, just like the second dimension was an infinite number of lines stacked on top of each other, the dimension is an infinite number of time streams stacked next to each other. That's what Shane is getting at with this alternate reality thing. It's interesting.
Brain hurts.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting.
I wrote a
This is
paper
the
on
most
this.
interesting thing I have heard all day.
Where do I look that up in the dictionary?
So,
Okay, read us the definition of interesting, if you please.
If I could find it. Shayna, keep talking.
alright, so basically, I mean, it's an interesting thought how there could be different universes. And if you consider all the infinite worlds ever, you know, then anything is possible and anything has happened. You know?
Yes.
Like, if it's infinite, then
That's
every
your
single
four-dimensional
possibility,
thing, yeah.
everything that could have ever happened has happened and will happen.
I need your glasses. Interesting. A word meaning I have no idea what the heck I'm supposed to say.
I thought that was supercalifragilistic, sexy, super dopeness, or whatever. It was.
Something like that.
On a slightly less serious note than quantum boogaloos, boogaloo's. One of the things that I do, because I like to think I'm funny, is I tell people stories, and it's this form of humor. I feel like self-deprecation is like the highest form of humor here, because
Say that one more time.
self-deprecation is the highest form of humor.
Say it one more time. Just that phrase.
Self-deprecation is
Okay, pause.
What? So the
Can we get a
concept is-
definition of deprecation, please?
So if I was to make fun of you, and we were all laughing at your expense, it could hurt your feelings.
Well,
It probably won't, because you know that I'm your friend. But still, you're taking a wee bit of a risk. With self-deprecation, though.
If you get that word wrong, it means something totally different.
I know, I thought you said something very different too.
Self-deprecation, what?
Okay, depreciation is a reduction of the value of an asset with the
Yes.
passage of time, due in particular to wear and tear.
Can we put it in... I do speak English, so never mind. Can you get that translated to Spanish? That would help so much. Henry, continue.
This is McKay, our Spaniard. Okay, alright.
Hola.
So, basically what I do is I mock other people at my own expense. Like, everyone laughs, but I'm the idiot.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Can we please screenshot that?
We will.
That's not what I meant.
Learn something new every
The
day!
more you know.
Okay. Case in point, this is
Kids.
me being the idiot and everybody laughing.
Kids, make sure you know the difference between what he said and the other thing. Because you could be telling your friends that you were making fun of yourself, and you might tell them you just crapped yourself.
Yes.
Most of which kids are going to be watching this show.
Self-deprecation is the highest form of humor.
Deprecation. Say it with me now.
This isn't Dora.
So, I tell stories, and I basically, I try to make myself identifiable. Like, I want people to agree with me and go, oh yeah, I totally would have done the same thing. That makes total sense, Henry.
Is that your goal? Usually?
Well,
Sorry,
I want them to identify with me.
I'm still coming back with the self-deprecation. Oh yeah, I totally would have done that. I totally would have
I
done that.
totally would crap for myself too.
So I have one story in particular that I kind of go to. I've got a bunch that I like, but this is one that I kind of go to. It's about me and bicycles. We went on this scout trip We were going to bike 100 miles.
This already started out badly. Okay.
100 miles. It's if like any of you out there are bikers, it's not too far. But it's 100 miles like through rock and dirt. This is not a pavement thing. But we went and we did the White Rim Trail. And we stopped at 50 miles, which is like up on this big plateau. So we get up to the plateau and we camp there, and then we turn around and we go back down. It's like these switchbacks. And so I trade my dad bicycles because my back is hurting me and I want his bike with the big handlebars. And so I have my dad's bike, which is really old. Really old.
You're really old.
And they start going down and I see the switchbacks and you know what I'm thinking, McKay. I see the switchbacks and I go, oh yeah. And so they start going down. I'm like, oh yeah, you go on ahead. I'll catch up with you.
I'm seeing this going one of two ways. Either you decide that gravity is no match for you, and so you just went straight forward instead of actually using the switchbacks, or you tried to go like Mario Kart style, and you tried to like go down and drift and drift and drift and drift.
Neither one, actually. I told you that Dad's bikes, the first switchback was by far the steepest. It was like a 30-degree angle. It's ridiculous. So we all walked our bikes down, and I walked down holding the brakes the whole time so the bike doesn't, get away from me. That would be bad. And I get to the bottom, and now my brakes are all worn out on this really old bicycle. And they go down, the rest of them, and I wait a minute, and then I get on the bike, and I go down, and I'm shooting down the hill. It was so much fun until suddenly it wasn't. And I get to this turn, and it's really dirty and sandy. And so I hit the brakes, and nothing happens. And so I go over the next bend, and I go down the hill, and I'm about to pass my friend Darren. And so I see it in my head. I go, well, I'm going to hit that rock. I'm going to go over the handlebars this way, and then I'm going to have a bad day. And so I yell to Darren, I'm going to crash, and whoop, exactly like it was in my head. I wake up to the bishop standing over my head, going, Henry, wiggle your toes. And I'm like, Henry, wiggle your toes. I don't want to. Henry, I need to know you haven't torn your tendons. Wiggle your toes. And now I'm concerned. And I look up and I wiggle my toes a little and he goes, oh good, he's still got motor function. And yeah, it turns out there's the big gash on my knee. And so I didn't ride the rest of the bicycle trip. Okay, that's not true, I did, but I shouldn't have.
I was really hoping that at some point in this story you would like pull out a red shell and hit the person in front of you, and then he would crash too.
This is a parallel universe where we are not constrained by the laws of physics.
Yes.
There's a parallel universe where everything we do is Mario Kart style. Everything. Taking tests.
Blue shell.
Asking a girl out. I don't know what you would use in that. You'd have to use like a...
The lightning shocker.
I'm not trying to kill her.
I don't know, you hand her a mushroom? Wait, no. Don't.
Hey, you want some drugs?
Dating according to Shayna.
I was thinking like mushrooms are a good thing, they make you go faster.
And this is where she tries to be identifiable. See, you're already mastering self-defecation.
Okay, so if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a shirt, like most people. And this shirt has words on it, also, like most people. And these words are Star Wars. So if you guys don't know what Star Wars is, then you guys shouldn't be here, and you should not be watching this. So
you should be watching Star Wars instead.
You should be watching Star Wars.
Watch 4 first.
Okay, so there's a lot of interesting. There's a very interesting culture that goes with Star Wars. We all hear of the Star Wars versus the Trekkies type thing. I never understood why there was a war in the first place.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah, why not both? I like them both, and if you have a problem with that, leave a comment below and subscribe. So there's an interesting fan theory that I'm a total believer in now, and it is the Darth Jar Jar theory.
This is very, very bad.
What? Yeah, it's a thing. So, at first I thought this was absurd, because Jar Jar Binks, essentially one of the most hated characters in all of Star Wars history.
It makes sense.
It makes perfect sense when you look into it.
Because, honestly, somebody that annoying could not be from the good side of the Force.
I have 2 siblings that are almost that annoying.
First off, we have to establish the fact that Jar Jar is actually very skilled at fighting. It might not seem like it, because if we can show a clip right now. So, he's flailing all over the place.
Oh,
and
yeah, with the battle droids.
Yeah, he's taking out so many enemies. And a lot of the theorists, or a lot of the fans would just say, okay, that's just Jar Jar being lucky. Well, no, because it's already been established in the Star Wars universe.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
So, we see Jar Jar do like this 20 massive foot flip thing into the air and dive perfectly in the water. So yeah, you can try to explain that off. You can be like, that's just gun anatomy, even though muscles.
Okay, Star Wars bugs me because there's not supposed to be sounds in space. I'm sorry,
all
it
be
is a
sound.
vacuum.
Yes, unless they filled it with something.
Balloons.
Hey guys, you know that giant black void between the planets and the universe? Yeah. Well, why don't we fill that with something? Okay, well, like a gas or something? No. Balloons. So he was at every single critical turning point in the prequels. So think about it. He was there when the hyperdrive broke and they had to land on Tatooine,
He broke
where
it.
they found Anakin Skywalker. He was right next to it when it went down.
Him and his stupid ears.
The droids in the Star Wars universe have never trusted Jar Jar, and there's a reason for that. I'll explain
Why?
that in a sec. Okay, I'll explain that now. So Jar Jar, if he is a Force user, he can use Force mental control, or he can like put his will over
Yes.
other people.
But
And
it
you'll
don't
notice-
work on droids.
Exactly, because they don't have actual physical minds in order to manipulate. Okay, the droids do not trust Jar Jar, and it's because they cannot be mentally controlled, and they sense innately that he's evil. Notice that right before the hyperdrive crashes, Jar Jar is down there next to it, and R2-D2 goes up to him and is like,
rams into him.
hey, he's like, brah, what you doing, brah?
I
And-
find that Jar Jar creature rather odd.
Exactly.
Whistle beep. You're right, he's rather odd indeed.
Think about it. In every instance where Jar Jar and Emperor Palpatine are on the same planet and they're in the same room, they are always shown standing right next to each other. Even when they would have no reason to do so. At Qui-Gon Jinn's funeral, they are standing right next to each other. When they walk down the hall at the Senate, they are standing right next to each other. In every instance where they are together, they are right next to each other. The ultimate piece of evidence. We know that Darth Jar Jar went into hiding, and we know that Snoke has been in hiding. The only logical answer: Jar Jar is Snoke. If you like what you saw, then subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, then subscribe. I don't care. If you're watching this, you need to subscribe. It's just a requirement. It's how we
Yep.
make our money. That's a lie. We're poor.
Oh, you go.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, this has been Sarcasm.
And
Dopamine!
All right.